Hare Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai. Rather, after putting the efforts, depends on what you have chosen in your life. What is the goal? Something like somebody puts on a lot of efforts day and night, but the destination is not clear, the vision is clouded. As a result, all these efforts take us to a destination which is not worth considering. For example, like people in our country, they have the destination USA. How much money they will give to this fellow, that fellow, and get this sponsorship, that sponsorship, and try to get green card and yellow card and red card. And finally, when they get it, as if they have attained liberation from India. And then they go there. And after having gone there, right from commode onwards, everybody they are very friendly with. And what for gone there? Is the goal of life only collecting the things around? Is the goal of life to have only the infrastructure? Friends, if the infrastructure is perfect, infrastructure makes less difference. And those whose infrastructure is disturbed, they may go to any place in this world. All the places they will go, but they will be the same because they don't want to change themselves. See, you will see the people in the overdeveloped countries, they have got all the luxuries and all the comforts, and therefore they are luxuriously miserable and comfortably miserable. Is this the goal of life? What is the goal of life? And therefore the teacher is feeling sorry. These people put so much of efforts and what they are getting in life. Now this thought is brought out in the next 3 verses. The teacher says, there is no doubt the people following the material path do put forward a lot of efforts. There is no doubt about it. For earning money, it's not a simple job. It's difficult. After you earn the money, to protect the money, another difficult job. Protect from what? Only from ATG? No. अपने बेटा जी, अपने बेटी जी, और कोई नहीं. And after you have that money, you want to protect, and when the time of giving the money to somebody comes, the most painful affair in life. So, earning is not comfortable, protecting is not comfortable, distribution is not comfortable, and yet we are putting all the efforts in that. So this is what the teacher says. Traividyamam somapaputapapaham yajnerištva svargatim prarthayante te punyamasadya surendralokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan te tam bhuktva sargalokam vishalam kshine punye martyalokam vishanti evam trai dharma manuprapannaha gata gatam kama kama alabhante. Now in these 2 verses the teacher says, Traividya. Traividya means what? A lifestyle where competition, where struggle and frustration is guaranteed. These three things, when they are the springs board of our activities, we are functioning in the Traividya. I am not telling you from the traditional translations, because what we require is application of knowledge in life. Knowledge is science, application is technology. If the science is not applied for the benefit of living in this world, that science becomes only a load. Now this particular subject with the teacher says, Traividyam mam somapaha putapapaha. So these people, putapapaha, they have purified themselves. How they have purified? Those people who are, for example, wanting to get a gold medal in running. Do you think it is a less torture they go through? They will not eat. I like ice cream and Srikhanda. Yesterday I had discovered a new cocktail. I went to some Gujarati house. Gujarati house means what? Where they add sugar to the jaggery before eating. So, they got both these dishes. Swamiji ice cream, Swamiji Srikhanda. I said, why not make a cocktail? And we made it. It was so tasty. So, Putapapaha means those who have purified themselves. So, if I want to run and get the first medal, then I know I like it very much, but the doctor told me that you are overweight by 0.22 milligrams. I can't eat. If such a lovely food is in front of you, no, but I want to be Miss Triloki. So there is a lot of effort, self-control. And thereby you are having all the willpower. Putapapaha. Now such people somapaha. And how they have developed this thing? When you are committed to some goal, you are automatically self-controlled. See? When the exams come near, and if you are a student who do not want to have the firm's foundation, but want to go to the next standard, then automatically somapaha, that goal will control you and you will not get indulgent. You will study properly. Now, such people, Traividyam mam yajnaihi ishtva swargatim prarthayante. So they put lot of efforts in their life. And what do they expect from me, the giver of the fruit of all the action? They expect swargatim. They only want to go to heaven. Now tell me, the other day I was in US and one person was driving me for some function and he was associated with a temple. In USA, number of temples is becoming almost equal to India. So, in that temple, there was a priest. There is a priest and he is a very close friend of mine. So, this person, he told me, he is one of the trustees of that temple. He said, Swamiji, that priest is your friend? I said, yes. Why don't you tell him that he should not be greedy? See, we are paying him $500 a month. This amount he has never dreamt in his life. Do you know how much money it is? I said, yes. Then you please tell him, don't be greedy and don't take the money dakshina from the people. I said, before I tell him, I would like to ask some questions. Have you come to USA for charity? See? Is it that in our country there was no food? Is it that in our country people are not living, they are all dead? Is it that in our country everywhere there are snakes and snake charmers? You have come to this country with a greed in your mind, and what audacity you have to tell that the priest is greedy? See how it is. I said, you are buying here bread and butter in dollars, and is he buying in rupees? So this is very, very important. So here the teacher says, Yajnaihi ishtva svargatim prarthayante. All efforts which are directed for more and more greed of this world for indulgence and enjoyment. What happens? You do get objects of enjoyment and you do indulge, there is no doubt about it. And one more step. Our scriptures tell, when you come in contact with the worldly objects, you do enjoy. There is no doubt about it. You have an experience of happiness. Suppose you are a Bengali, starving, and you get Rasgulla. There is nothing more in this world that a Bengali can dream, is it not? And he will enjoy. There is no doubt about it. Now the teacher says, putting so much of efforts in life, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. For what? Swargatim, for a higher standard of life. Swarga is what? See, I had been in Swarga my last life. You may have doubt, I have no doubt about it. Do you know what are the signs of a person who had been in Swarga or Narak in the last life? The sign is, he who is all the time cheerful and happy has recently arrived from the heaven. And those who are all the time miserable, dejected, and my sash is like that, and my bahu is like that, and recent arrival from the hell. So I had been to the heaven, and there I have seen. There also, like our Bombay, there is a cuff parade and there is a dysentery parade. Both are there. Cuff parade, you all know. Dysentery parade is Jhopadpatti. Everywhere. In relativity, there cannot be absolute happiness. See? So important. We all have a funny notion that USA is or any of the Western countries, they are so prosperous. But I tell you, there also there are beggars. Only difference is our beggars come and stand on the roadside and say, give 10 rupees. The other day, one beggar asked me here near Bharati Vidya Bhavan, Maharaj, give me 10 rupees. I said, why 10 rupees? Why not 11 rupees? So, beggars, robbery, looting, theft, they are everywhere. Now, what is the difference between a thief in America and thief over here? It is the same quality, but we imagine from a distance. If I go to America, the other day I got one phone from one of my friend who never phoned me in last 5 years. And he phoned, Swamiji, good news. So I said, what is the good news? You know, my daughter-in-law, she has gone to America for 3 months. See the great news of life. See, this is how Swarga means, a dream of higher quality of life. And what is the higher quality of life? Swamiji, you know, whatever you say, in this country, you know, when you go to the office, your work is done. Not like India, you have to give something from below. Here everything is nice. How many times you go to the office in your whole life? 5, 10, 20 times. How many hours you are on the road? Beautiful road, nice cars, you go and driving. And when you reach the destination, the same frustrated. My son has become drug addict, you know. My daughter, 4th divorce. Back home, when we were in India, what a good quality of life we had. Here, so terrible. What did you come back to India? Swamiji, that is the whole trouble. In USA, we cannot live remembering in India. In India, we cannot live remembering USA. See? I am not exaggerating. You see the people from a close quarter. And constant struggle, constant competition. If my son is going to tennis, and if you have got a daughter, what do you think? My daughter will also go for tennis. And in one car, before the steering, I saw a sticker. They say, woman's place is in the home, in the kitchen. How come I am all the time behind the steering? See? This is called as Swarga. And how long? After having gone there, Swarga Ishtva Swargatim Prarthayante, Te Punyamasadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan. And for the first time, when these people go to the foreign countries, there, everything is so nice, so wonderful here, See the roads, how they are clean. See the houses, you open the things, they function. Unlike India, you open the tap and the tap comes in your hand. Ask, what do you want? Except water, you get everything. Isn't it? You lift the phone and the paper below that flies away. But phone is not meant as a paperweight. Yes, in India it is used as paper. Isn't it? Now all these new things, they keep on enchanting a person. In Middle East, there is a saying. When some Indian has come recently to Middle East to stay, it is known from the things in the house. For example, remote control is neatly packed and kept in a plastic bag. Understand, he is a recent arrival. So, when they go to the Swarga, they are enchanted. Divyan Divideva Bhogan. And it is so nice, so nice. We don't have to cook here. Once we cook it, put it in the fridge, 1 week rest. Ashnanti Divideva Bhogan. One day, one person asked me this question. Swamiji, one thing you please tell me. Why in India, you people don't have proper bathrooms, toilets, everything is wait. Why can't they improve? I said that depends which end of your body you give maximum importance. I said, we believe in good quality food, every day freshly cooked food, because this end is more important for us than the other end. Other end is for you. Dad, Amma got so angry. Swamiji, I didn't expect this thing from you. I said, you have teased me, so I am telling you. Swargatim prarthayante ti punyamasadya surendra lokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. Now, next step. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. After having gone to the so-called swargalok, the higher quality of lifestyle, and then what happens? Swargalokam bhuktva vishalam. Very nice, very nice. The other day I was in North Carolina, and I was referring about something in some other part of USA. So that man told me, Swamiji, I am in USA for last 25 years. I have not seen more than this particular town or village where I am. And you have moved the whole of USA and you have seen so many things. I think I should also move. Any place you go, you want to see this, you want to see that. How long? Now see the people who are in Bombay. I have never gone to Mumma Devi temple till once. Never gone to this Lakshmi Nara, what temple it is there near the petrol. Mahalakshmi temple. And the people when they come from other places, Mumbai Karachi. And then they'll go and get dhakka in the bus and in the train and feel good. Friends, these things cannot attract mind for a long period of time. If prosperity is the solution for peace of mind. All the rich people should have been happy. But contrary is true. Richer you are, more depressed you are. Depression is the luxury of the rich people. See? Can you imagine the people working, the labor class or the lower middle class or our government clerks, upper division, lower division? They don't have depression. They are not like the ocean. It has gone in depression and then heavy rains have fallen. No. So, Teetam Bhuktva Swargo Lokam Vishalam. How long will it happen? After some time you get bored of the prosperity, then Kshine Punne Martya Lokam Vishanti. And then they come back to the original status. I think, Swamiji, at times I feel I should go back to India. But now the condition is, I want to go back. But my wife doesn't want. My children don't want. I said, then you come. What will I do there? I said, whatever you do here, do there. Cook yourself, wash your clothes, clean the commode. The same thing you can do there. Is it necessary? No, I do this thing only in the developed countries. In the underdeveloped countries, we don't do this. See? Friends, all this glitter of matter does not matter if your infrastructure is pure. So, Kshine Punne Martyalokam Vishanti. Those people who go on H1 and when the H1 is approaching, now only few days are remaining, struggle and sit with that internet, whether you can get something, this thing, can I get any job you give me, but you get me one H1 so I can stick on to this place and continue. But when you don't get H1, then Kshine Punne Bharat Mera Mahan. Come back to India. Mehtaji, I understand you had gone to US. No, I was not very happy over there. I decided to come back. Kshine Punne Martalok. Mehtaji has come back. And after having come back here, constant comparison. Please remember, on the material plane, the mind survives only on comparison. And the more you compare, the more you are miserable in life. Stop comparison and you are absolutely happy. See? And what is the material life? Only comparison. He has got one car, I am a Gujarati, I should have a car. Constant comparison, constant competition. Friends, comparison, competition has never given happiness and peace to anybody in this world. So, Kshine Punne Martyalokam Vishanti, again they come down to the same square 2. Have you played sometime that snake and ladder? You reach up to 98 and then the snake swallows you and you come back to 2 again. Hare Ram again. Yes, Kshine Punne Martyalokam Vishanti. And thereafter, Evam Trai Dharmam Anuprapannaha. And in this manner, constantly struggling throughout life. Toward the end of the life, ask them, hey, how was life? What life? I think I have lived death. I have never lived life. Many people, they say, Swamiji, I wish you had come in my life 40, 50 years before. So I tell them, if I had come in your life 40, 50 years before, you have to wash my langot. Because that time I was small. And then it is too late. It is not too late. It is too early for the next life. So, evam trai dharmam anuprapannaha. Trai dharma means a field of materialistic existence. Trai dharma means where the doer, the deeds and the results are all that counts in life. Trai dharma. I have done so much, I must get. If I get, ha ha. You must have seen these tennis players on the TV. When they hit a good shot, and when it fails, they break that racket. And then a very successful man. Evam trai dharmam anuprapannaha, and gata gatam. Constantly going and coming. One moment in good mood. Second moment in a terrible mood. And in this manner, these kama kamaha, those who are constantly tormented by the millions of unfulfilled desires about the worldly attainments, they have never come to a stage when they can sleep without a pill or a pillow or a pillow. See, a good life is that life when you hit your head to the pillow and you are gone. Swamiji, in that case, my life is the best. How? In Satsang also. Don't require even a bed or a pillow. Anywhere. Gata gatam kama kamaha labhante. So kama kamaha, those who are constantly tormented by these millions of desires about this worldly thing. I want this, I want that, if it is this way, it is that way. Now, this is the story of all those people who are really putting forward sincere efforts. You ask them toward the evening of their life. Mehtaji, how is life? Today the Mehtaji's day looks like. Sometimes it is Guptaji. Today it is Mehtaji. Mehtaji, how is life? I don't know what to say. But now I feel very bad. I have really wasted my life. How? See, I feel so vacant inside. There's a big vacuum. What I have lived in this world for? My arrival in this world and my departure in this world is equal. No meaning. There is no sense of fulfillment. Friends, when we have no sense of fulfillment in life, that is worse than the experience of death. See? And such people, when they become old, they become a problem to the next generation. If I am a lady, then the mother-in-law virus starts destroying the peace of mind of the house. If I am a father-in-law, constantly demanding 101 thing and attention. See? Such people become a load on the society. Friends, let our life be such that our presence is an asset to the world and not a liability. And this can happen only when we have discovered the peace within. When you are in a company of a person who is completely tormented, angry, dejected, disgusted, frustrated, in the company of such a person, you start getting the burning feeling. Many times, some people ask. The other day somebody asked me, Swamiji, I know you don't like a question being asked, but I will ask. I said, who cares? You ask. If I reply, if I don't reply, don't reply. He said, you are sometimes, very rude to some people. What is the reason? I said, I am made like that. What can I do? Now this rudeness does not come as a planned activity. See, when you are driving a car and suddenly you apply the brake, the sudden application of the brake is not with an intention to hurt the people sitting in the car. That was the need of that moment. See, And who can do that? When the driver is totally alert, completely relaxed, and has no expectation of anything from anybody. In the same manner, when you come across a person with strong ego, with a pernicious intentions, with a dirty mind, with bad intentions, immediately you get a correspondingly appropriate reaction. Therefore, friends, it is very, very necessary for us that when we are living in this world, now I am giving the last touch, when we are living in this world, let us focus attention on, with every interaction with the world, is our inner climate improving or not? When our reactions or actions or our undertakings in this world is focused on improving the world at the cost of our own inner purity and peace, we are going the wrong way. The most valuable thing in the whole universe is our peace of mind. You keep your peace of mind in one side of the scale and put the whole universe on the other side of the scale. The most valuable thing in this world is our peace of mind. Alas, we all are seeking this absolute bliss, but we are running in the world and gather blisters. Therefore, living as the absolute is living in bliss. Living in the relative is living with blisters. Gatagatam kama kama labante. Now a contrary picture. So this is the picture of those materialist people who imagine materialism is the only solution for all the problems of life. It has never happened, it will never happen. See, the other day there was one international yoga conference and I was called there, and there were some research papers presented and all that. And I was supposed to talk on yoga research. And when I started, totally different kind of thoughts started coming. I said, please understand, you can conduct research on yoga in your scientific manner if yoga also deals with the same field which your science is dealing. Your science is dealing only the present life. The science does not approve of the earlier existence and the posterior existence. And Yoga Sutra very clearly tells that jati ayu bhogaha, the birth, the longevity and the kind of experiences that we are going to get is determined by the summation of total activities that we have done in our last life. Now, what research will you do on this? So, if we have to do something, improve upon yourself. Very important. There is no research required. Research is possible only in the objective field. If we want to have research on the subjective area, you are the guinea pig, you are the laboratory, you are the methodology, you are the scientist, you are the statistician, you are the one who is analyzing the results, you are the one who is evaluating the result, and you are the one who will be benefited by those results. It is not an objective pursuit. See? Alas, we imagine scientific approach like taking a test tube and putting something and discovering the great achievement. No. The life is meaningful only when it is lived with a subjective approach. And this subjective approach is called as looking at the world from the absolute standpoint and then re-evaluating your own past experiences. So, This view is given in the 22nd verse. Ananya chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Our LIC, Malayalis call LIC. So LIC has those, two hands like this, and below there is a Brida Vakya. There is a statement. And what is that? Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Stolen from Bhagavad Gita. And we have faith in that useless LIC, the thief, who tells you, you give us money and die, we will look after your people better. See? We have faith in that LIC. But this Lord himself is telling, I shall take care of you. We have doubt about his abilities, about his intentions, and who does not want anything from you. See? So the teacher says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. You will be taken care of the moment you change your standpoint in life. See? Now what is that? Yoga Kshemam. Yoga Kshemam means what? Yoga means what we do not have. We struggle to get that. Is called as yoga. Kshema is whatever we have to protect what we have. So all our life is a mathematics of these two struggles. Struggle to procure what we don't have and struggle to protect what we have. Yoga Kshema. Now the teacher says, I shall take care of it. Vahamyaham. Now for whom? Now he gives the qualification. First, Ananya Chintayanto Mam Ye Janaha Paryupasate. All those people, plural word is used. It is not only for one isolated, solitary, most lucky person. No, it is for everybody. See the magnanimity of the teacher. Who are those people? Three conditions. One, Ananya Chintayanto Mam. Now see this word Ananya means what? This hanky is Anya, other than me. So when this hanky falls somewhere, nothing happens to me. And therefore, my attention to the hanky will be of a secondary nature than the attention towards that which I consider as I. Wherever there is a sense of otherness, following things happen. One, desire. See, I can have desire about something which is not me. I can have desire for this mic. I can have desire for this camera. I cannot have desire of me. Because I am me. So wherever there is a sense of otherness, anya bhava, there is a desire. Where there is a desire, there is a struggle. When the desire is fulfilled, greed develops. When the desire is not fulfilled, anger develops. And when the greed and the anger are coupled together, what happens is the peace of mind and the pieces are collected at the cost of the peace of mind. So, Ananya Chintayanto Ma means what? He who has discovered his absolute being. See? And what is this absolute being? Never we have an experience of our birth. Never we have an experience of growth. Never we have an experience of death. And never we have an experience of our own absence. That reality is the truth. That is our essential nature. But we have become so accustomed, so habitual of committing the same mistake again and again. And habits are formed. Like, the other day I was in some place, Ahmedabad, and I was, doing like this. So one person after the lecture asked me, Swamiji, why do you do like this? I said, next time you sit next to me, I'll do to you also. You do like this, there is no reason I do like that. You jal rahe ho kya? Are you burning English translation? Now these habits have no meaning, they just happen. In the same manner, when we are in the satsang, we are absolute reality. And the moment we go out, we reduce to the same relativity. Now what is the reason? Reason is only habit of reverting back. By default, we get identified with the body. So what is to be done? Change your program. Change it. And that is what is called as all spiritual scientific life. So ananya chintayanto mam. As long as we continue to consider ourselves to be separated from the supreme reality, we will be suffering in this world. I want this, I want that, he should be like that, he should be like that. Last time I told you a story. There was a king whose son was stolen when he was a child, and it was stolen by a thief, a dacoit, and the son became a big, robust, strong man, 20, 30 years, and then the same son was sent to the king for looting away his things, and when he came, that maid servant could locate and find out he is the same boy, so she spoke to him, that do you have such and such impact, mark on your body? And then she told, you are the son of the same king. You don't have to steal all these things. They are yours. The moment that child comes to know that the whole kingdom belongs to me, will he ever steal anything? In the same manner, the moment we discover that we are the source of all happiness in this world, we will not become beggars, going with the begging ball and asking the worldly objects and the people, oh worldly objects and people, please give me little happiness, little happiness. Discover that bliss that you are in your own heart. Ananya chintayanto mam. In this manner, those who are able to recognize their identity with the Absolute, they will never have tensions and worries about what will happen in the future. What has happened in the present? Nothing. Nothing will happen in the future. You know, our struggle is, we all want to cross the bridge which has never come. See? It's only projection, imagination. Now this our Ganapati Bappa Moria. Unnecessary fear. I think there will be too much of traffic jam. And the roads are so clean, beautiful. No traffic jam. And we get disappointed. Why? No traffic jam. We started with all the expectation. There will be traffic jam. And there is no jam. See? Most of us in our life destroy the joy of the present by imagining and worrying about the unborn future. Ananya chintayanto mam means those who are ever living in the present in that absolute state of blissful existence. Ananya chintayanto mam. Such people alone have understood the meaning of happiness. Others are only postponing happiness. If I go there, then I'll be happy. Till then, miserable. Continue. If I get that thing, then I'll be happy. Till then, miserable. Continue. You know, if that graha goes from this house to that house, you know, that day I told you, people put on various kinds of rings for protecting them from the impact of the graha. Shani, Shukra, and the wedding ring. What is the reason? I could never understand why they put on the wedding ring. Husband puts on the wedding ring to protect from the wife and vice versa. Ananya chintayanto mam. Then ye janaha pariupasate. And this is not limited to the satsang time alone. Pariupasate. In every situation in life. Paritaha upasate. Normally what happens? Our spirituality means what? Swamiji, please give me some Diksha Guru Mantra. Then what will you do? I will do that japa. 10 minutes, Ram, 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 Ram. After that, Ravan, 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 Ravan. Spiritual life is not a part-time profession. It is a full-time preoccupation. Pariyupasate. It's not that only when I go to the office from 10 to 5. You know our Calcutta? They are very simple people. Bengalis are very simple, sweet people. They go to the office, 10 to 5 is the time, and the destination is from home to home, 10 to 5. So if they require 2 hours to reach home to office, they start 10 o'clock from the office. What can we do? We have to travel 2 hours. Why should we travel in our time? And then they leave that place 3 o'clock so they can reach home at 5 o'clock. Very sincere. And when they go there, they'll put on their coat or something on the chair. That means they have reported. And thereafter for working, you require extra time, overtime for work, and going to office for the salary. Friends, it is so essential that we are able to discover the joy within. Please understand, those who are happy within, they will never be lazy. Those who are fulfilled within, they will never try to procrastinate the things. Those who have discovered the joy within, they will never be imagining the dreams. If I have that, if I have that. Such great masters are ever cheerful, highly inspired. In the 3rd chapter, Bhagavan Krishna told Arjuna, Name pathasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. Hey Arjuna, what do I have to get from the whole world? I don't have to get anything. Yet, varta evacha karmani. I am dynamically functioning in this world for the joy of it. See? An average person works in this world to get happiness. An extraordinary person expresses happiness through every action of his life. Those who are able to express the inherent happiness in them, they alone have established themselves in the absolute standpoint. So, ye janaha pariyupasate, ever the same cheerfulness. That is why on the battlefield when Arjuna was crying, even that moment, the Lord was cheerful and happy because the whole world is a terrible and a big affair if you are a small creature. Please remember, the strength of the world is borrowed from your weakness. If you are a weakling, the world becomes strong. If you are strong, the world has to become weak. And your strength is not from the world. You have inherent strength. Alas, that Atma Bala, the inherent strength, we have never recognized in our life. Let that sleeping giant awake. And this is to be done. There is no way out. So, ye jana pariyupasate, desha nityabhiyuktanam. And this absolute standpoint is not once in a while, like many people say. Swamiji, sometimes meditation becomes so wonderful. Sometimes, the meditation doesn't become wonderful. What is the reason? I said, it is like a sambar. Sometimes the sambar is prepared very nice. Sometimes it is terribly bad. This is how it happens. Friends, if we are clearly having the understanding of the absolute vision, your all efforts will subside. Spontaneity will be the order of your life. Rutam mara prajnaya. You will develop the intuitive understanding about the world. And thereafter, your decisions will be perfect. There won't be any regrets in your life. And this all is possible only when we climb above the relativity and come to establish in the absolute standpoint. Therefore, it is very difficult for a person who is buried under the worries of his own creation to even understand this. And that is why the great masters tell us that go to the wise people, listen to Satsang and change your thinking process. As are our thoughts, so are we. If the thoughts are confused, we are confused. If the thoughts are clear, we are clear. If the thoughts are frustrated, we are frustrated. If the thoughts are depressed, we are depressed. And if there are no thoughts, we are the absolute. So transcending this thought is the only way to get out of this relativity. Now, such people who are not able to understand this absolute standpoint, they take shelter in the relative standpoints from a higher level. It is something like this. I want something to be done and I cannot do myself. So I approach my neighbor. Hey, do you know somebody in the ministry? Why you want that? This work can be done only by that minister. Do you know somebody? Please find out. So we go to the minister and get the work done. Why you have gone only to that minister? Because he is in charge of that particular ministry. And in this manner, we try to get out of the relativity, keeping the relativity intact. We are not going within ourselves. Now this topic is brought out. Ye pyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvita te bimameva kaunteya yajanti avidipurvakam. See? Many times, what happens? I receive so many phone calls. The other day, yesterday only I received one phone. Is this Anubhavananda Trust? I say yes. I have been listening to Swami Anubhavananda for last so many years and I am highly benefited. I listen his cassettes and books and I really want to thank him. And I am replying to all. Now, when are his lectures? Where are his lectures? Can you send his books and some photographs? And I am directly talking to him. And then he says, please don't tell him that I phoned, okay? In the same manner, we go to Santoshi Mata, we go to Shivji, we go to Krishna, we go to Rama, we do Ekadashi, we do Shivaratri. All these different departments of gods are taken care of by the same absolute reality. See, if we know the chief minister, all other ministers are taken care of. But we don't have that understanding. We are happy with small little things, There was one Sethi, somebody came for a job. And I was just sitting there. So I asked him, how much you will pay this fellow? He gave such a beautiful job. He says, Swamiji, everybody evaluates himself. We don't have to evaluate. I said, how? He says, see now. So, okay, you come for the job. How much do you expect? See? I want $2,000 per month. So he looked at me. He has evaluated himself. His value is only $2,000 per month. Now, a person who has evaluated himself $2,000, there is zero possibility that he will get more than that. Isn't it? We all have evaluated ourselves. No, I am this material, I am miserable. There is no higher potentiality, there is no higher goal, there is no higher possibility, and therefore I am born to die. Friends, let us discover that we have that highest potentiality. It is not a rare accident that Vivekananda was converted from a Narendra overnight. No. He has put forward efforts and he has changed the goal of his life, and he was committed to that Drudavrata, and he worked for that. And then only he was metamorphosed from a Narendra to Vivekananda. When it is possible for one fellow, it is possible for every one of us. Alas, we don't recognize our own divine potentiality. This non-recognition of our own potentiality is the highest crime that we inflict against ourselves. And for that purpose, we are all criminals to ourselves. See how important it is. Therefore, friends, first of all, go within. Change your vision. And then you will have a complete understanding of the whole situation. And from that wisdom you function in life. Life will have a different meaning. So, ye pyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha. So, those people who are putting a lot of efforts in the various departments, in various faculties, they are ultimately borrowing strength from me alone. There is no other source of strength. When an athlete is running, or when a liar is cheating, or when a doctor is killing, or any good works are happening, it is the same divine power. So why not we invoke that divine power, something creative and grow? Further, aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena taschavantite. Sarva yajnanam aham eva bhokta prabhureva cha. Be very attentive. In every activity, the higher potentiality that is invoked is none other than the absolute vision. See? What was the reason that Mahatma Gandhi was able to motivate those days millions of people for the freedom struggle? Absolute vision. Now why we are not able to achieve this? Because relative vision. See the difference. When the vision changes, our action, our interaction, our approach, everything changes. And that is why the teacher says here, aham hi sarva yajnana bhokta cha prabhureva cha. All the undertakings are conducted for me. Bhokta, they are conducted for me. How? A person gets married for what? Another person gets divorced for what? One person drinks a lot for what? Other person never drinks for what? One is eating up to the nose. The other is observing Ekadashi. For what? Goal is common. Only for happiness. If happiness and bliss is the pursuit of our life, why not directly seek happiness? See? Why go by the bylanes of life? The moment you discover aham, the supreme self is the source of all the bliss and happiness in this world, then our pursuit in the objective world will come to a halt. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. And it is in our hands to be happy or not to be happy. Now we are all here, and some of us are definitely getting disturbed by Ganpati Bappa Moria music. Some of us are getting by the temporary earthquakes which are happening on the left side. If that is disturbing us more, then our attention is not on the subject, but our attention is on everything else. See? Distractions and disturbances are lack of attention to the goal of life. See? If the goal of life is bliss, then outer things will never disturb you. And if outer things are disturbing you and you want to change the outer world, you will never get bliss. But in the struggle, you will get blisters all over your system. Then what is to be done? Fix a newly developed attachment to your ear. What is that attachment? Selective hearing. What is selective hearing? What you practice when your wife talks to you. Isn't it? Acha, मुझसे कहा था? I didn't know that. And those husbands who are able to practice selective hearing, they have very good understanding with the wife. And those wives who are able to have the selective understanding with the mother-in-law, they will be also very happy. See, in this world, nobody can disturb us if you refuse to get disturbed. But if you cooperate with the disturbances, you will get more disturbed. See, this is a very simple thing. Aham hi sarva yajnana bhokta prabhurevacha. I am the Prabhu, I am the boss. Who can disturb me unless I accept the disturbance? You must have seen. Little bit of here, suppose the lecture is going on, somebody comes in between, goes here or like that, Oh, the lecturer, Babaji, they become so furious. Why? With great difficulty I was remembering and talking. And you have come and all my line of thinking is broken. Now what will I talk? So, Shesham Kopena Puraye. What cannot be proved logically can be established through anger. Therefore, friend, please remember, everything in this world depends on you, the subject. But which subject? The eye who is getting disturbed by the sound is a relative subject. The eye who is illuminating the sound but not getting by the music, not getting disturbed by the music, is the absolute subject. Now there can't be any better example than this. Now watch. But why they are doing it anyway? Can we close that thing? Now struggle inside. I think you are teasing us. I am enjoying. Therefore, aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha natu mam abhijananti. But the people do not recognize the absolute being that they are. We are the divine reality. Nobody can disturb us if we do not want to get disturbed. Like nobody can teach us if we don't want to learn. Isn't it? You can take the horse to the water and can you make the horse drink the water? No, he will make the water. It is his choice. You can't do anything. In the same manner, friends, discover this absolute being that you are. Refuse to get disturbed by any relativity. You have got the essence of this 9th chapter. And from this standpoint, then play the game of life. And when you are playing the game of life, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. There is a joy in losing also, if you are having the sportsman spirit. But if you have got only spirit, no sportsman, then others will enjoy. Therefore, tattvena taschavantite, they are deleted, taken away from the reality, and such people are constantly struggling and they want to change the world. And for changing the world, what they do? Yanti deva vrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopimam. So yanti deva vrata devan. Now, our attempt to discover happiness in the relative world is in different way. First, Deva means sense organs. Some of us are wanting to discover happiness by the ticklings of our senses. See, if I get good food, I really enjoy. If I get excellent classical music, it is so nice. But this sound is really on my nerves. So, there are people who are trying to gather happiness through indulgence in the worldly objects. They are called as, they are propitiating gods. And such people spend their whole life only in bhoga, bhoga, bhoga. The other day somebody asked me this thing, Swamiji, suppose we do like this thing, we will first have bhoga in our life. And when we become little elder, then we will get into yoga. I said, I don't know whether you know the stations in between bhoga and the yoga. After the bhoga, yoga doesn't come, roga comes. There is no yoga immediately after bhoga. So, yanti deva vrata devan. Those who are constantly spending their life only in enjoyment, they end up only in enjoyment. And what is the highest achievement of their life? Only one thing. Eat, eat, eat. Or have the comforts of life. So, yanti deva vrata devan. And by that what they are trying to achieve? The same happiness. See, in Upanishad this thought comes. The happiness a king who is ruling the whole world. And the world is such beautiful, where there are no strikes, no famine, where there are no quarrels, where there is prosperity, where there is no disease. What will be the happiness of that king when such a king is indulging with his most beautiful wife? That happiness and the happiness a pig has when he is indulging on the roadside, quality of happiness have no difference. It is only the happiness gained through the bhoga, gained through only indulgence. Same happiness. So, yanti deva vrata devan. So, those who have only discovered happiness, only in indulgence, they will become more and more indulgent. Therefore, you will see in the Western world, indulgence has gone to the level of perversion. Yanti deva vrata devan. Second, pitru yanti pitru vrataha. There are people who are constantly dependent on what I get in inheritance. You are lucky, you are born in a nice family, you don't have to work. Your father has worked so much, he has earned so much. Please remember, those parents who think that their children are good for nothing, they only gather lot of money and leave for the children. Why? Because they know their child, how he can be great. Think, everybody is born in this world with his own destiny. We give nothing to anybody and nobody takes anything from anybody. Everybody is having his own share. But we imagine, if I get this thing from my dad and all things, never you will be happy in your life. Therefore, second kind of people, pitru yanti pitru vrataha. Third, bhutani yanti bhutejya. There are people who are constantly struggling. Bhutam is the material life. If material prosperity, what is material prosperity? I should have a nice car. And whole life keep on driving. See? You may have nice car. You may have wonderful roads. You may have no traffic jams. But where do you have to go? There is no destination. You can't be on the road all the time. See, I have moved by the God's grace throughout the world. See, so many people, when they come for gatherings in the prosperous country of our own NRIs, they will come with a nice car. Now, there everybody has got a nice car. So, your nice car has no meaning. And then they'll come together, and after coming together, same thing, my son is like that, my daughter is like that, and he is getting into drug, and she is asking for dating, and I don't know what I should do, What about yours? Mine is also the same thing. I don't know why we have come to this country. This is the destination. Is this the destination of life? Friends, how you go is not important. Where you go is important. Whether you have come to Satsang by a car, or by bus, or train, or by walking, that is not important. What is the destination of your life? That is important. You may go by a most wonderful, extraordinary car as a terrorist. What is the use of that? Therefore, the teacher says the third thing, Bhutani yanti bhutejya. Such people are only exclusively materialist. And their understanding is the quality of life depends on the infrastructure. A Sindhi friend of mine from Hong Kong, he came to India and settled in Pune. And he invited me to his house, a big bungalow. And when I went inside, we had breakfast and all that. Then he asked me, Swamiji, how do you like my house? I said, I thought this is a museum. Where is a place for me to walk? You do hand like this thing, somebody is standing there. All the things that you have collected, this is from Italy, this is from Germany, this is from Middle East, this is from Southeast, and this is from nowhere, and all the things are hanging all around. And in that house, my or Mary baby, I and my wife, and both of us, when we are tired at looking each other, we look at the statues. Oh, very nice. See, that is the philosophy of the pet philosophy. Those who cannot love human beings, they keep dogs. So, Bhutani yanti bhutejya. And now, the effort that is put forward for indulgence, for getting somebody's free money, or for getting the material prosperity is tremendous effort. But if the same effort is put forward for some higher goal in life, then the teacher says, Yanti madhya jinopi mam. Those who have put forward effort to discover the absolute reality, and from that standpoint, again live your life dynamically. See? The quality of life, the joy of life will be unparalleled. See, in Bhagavad, many stories come. And in these stories, they talk about the kings have given up everything and gone to the forest. And how many years they lived? 10,000 years. And yet, you can never have absolute peace in the relative world. The remaining topic, conclusion we will have tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.